Hi, and welcome to another episode of Money Talk. Today, I am so excited to have my good friend and acquaintance with the different business opportunities and master classes that we both seem to be segueing through, but a life coach and a brilliant, brilliant human being that has had so much
Oh,
talent that she put it into a book, and our best-selling author, Cynthia Manion, will be joining us today. So I have two requests right now. One is share and like this with everybody. Come on, get out there, just push that button. And stay tuned because we'll be right back.
Linda gave me the courage, the confidence to move forward.
And after I was finished with Linda Kaye's training, I was at the next level.
It's Linda Kaye. But when you trust that piece of you that says, I got something to give, I have something to say, you know you've got something to do.
Get on your feet, shake your hands in the air. Welcome to the stage, Linda Kaye.
Well, as I said, we'd be right back, and I cannot wait to welcome to the stage my very good friend and guest today, Cynthia Manion. Cynthia, welcome.
Thank you so much, Linda. Thanks for having me, and right back at you. You are amazing. She's a warrior. Just being here today, she is a warrior. Yeah.
Yes, against all odds, I'll tell you that. So, Cynthia, what makes the Cynthia Manion Show, which is your podcast, which you're doing every single day, which I'm like, oh my God, so amazing. How do you find the energy, the time, and the guests for it?
First of all, I'm not doing it every single day yet.
Okay, so I've just
Wednesdays.
upped the pressure on you because I know that Ken Walls is watching this.
Yes, and he wants us to do it every day. I am doing
Yes.
something every day to forward this, but I wanted to make sure, just like you said, you keep up the energy and you have to have a message and you have to give it to the right people. And I'm so busy right now learning. I feel like I've gone back to school. I'm not sure if it's kindergarten or college or both combined.
There are days that I think we're in both.
It's true. And so there's so much to learn. Life is going at lightning speed. And I feel that this is the time for you to sit down and take a moment and focus so that everything you do is going on your mission to be your best self, to help others, and money talks, and have multiple streams of income coming in. Because as you know, the world is quite in flux. And this is the time to be your best. And there are so many different ways you can do it. And we're going to touch on a few with Linda Kaye right now because money talks.
Excellent. I can't wait to hear them. Now, before we get there, you and I have a very similar background, selling. And not just selling to anybody, but to selling big corporations. You know, does it make any difference what you sell?
It does. You have to have the passion for what you're selling.
Can you sell something really boring and tedious and still be okay with it?
Somehow I have managed to do that.
Let me just tell you the most boring thing I have ever sold in my entire life. And it was a life change, an eye opener for me. And I needed a job. I needed money. I was going to law school at night. And so I needed to add to my misery. And so I said, I'm just going to get a daytime job. And I found a sales job. It was an indoor sales job. And all I had to do was get on the phone for 8 hours a day, making a call, read a script, and convince somebody in the IT department that they should take a magnetic backup tape and test it. Now, can we say boring?
Yes, but you were ahead of the curve already.
You know what's really funny though is that it was a formula. It was a numbers game. So if I made 100 calls, I got 20 people to speak to. Out of those 20, I might get 3 people that said yes to the tape. And over a week's time, I would get 10 to 15 of those. The following week, I'd make sure that they had installed it, had they tested it. But here was the biggest aha. I almost fell out of my chair, Cynthia, when I called up and said, did you install it? Oh, yeah. And what did you think of it? Oh, it's great. Okay. Well, would you like to buy it? You know, and we're always afraid of what the answer is going to be, right? I was really prepared for no. And he said, well, how much is it? And I said, $50,000. And he said, okay, send it. Send me a bill. I almost fell over. And at that moment, for me, Cynthia, it was life changing because in that moment, I realized that if I could sell something this tedious and boring, I could control my life. I could control my future. I could have the security to have money when I needed it, right? And
Right.
so I know that you've got a story there somewhere. Tell me about how you got started or where you got started to where you are now, this super amazing best-selling author. And we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Linda just told you the secret, the magic, what all the books that come out. It's just hard work. It's just doing that. Whatever level you're on, that's how you do it. It is a
Wait a
numbers
minute. We
game.
don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that it's hard work. We want to hear that there's a magic formula.
Yes, there is a magic formula. I did the same thing, but my drive was slightly different because at the time I was a single mom. So my drive was my son, and my drive was to give him the best life. So I had my dream job 3 times. My first dream job, I was a model and actress in New York City and had a fabulous time. Then I had an injury, and life happens, and I ended up in Annapolis, Maryland, where I got my next dream job and moved to Tyson's Corner, where I was a assistant buyer for special occasion dresses and small and large sizes. And both of these times I was doing a lot of traveling. And not home a lot.
That's a dream job. Okay, let me just tell you, buying clothes.
It was fabulous back in the day. It
Of
was.
course.
It was the job. Nordstrom had a corporate jet. Actually, I have a cute picture of us anyway, that we flew on, and I opened 3 stores with Nordstrom and went to market and shopped all my competition. And it's just like you have to stay on top of it. You have to stay on top of your big clients. My big clients that I had then are still my friends now. Some of my little clients are my friends now too, because it doesn't really matter when you make a connection with someone and you are helping them. It's just
You're
becomes
there
a
to
beautiful
serve.
thing.
You've got the heart of a servant, Cynthia. So I
Yes.
think that really makes a really big, big difference when you are talking about helping somebody, whether you're a life coach, a business coach, a shopper for special event dresses, or whatever it is that your specialty is. Your heart needs to shine through that, because when you have that heart of a servant, it shows. People say, well, you got to have a passion for this. No, you really need to have a passion for wanting to serve somebody, because then that product or service that comes through you isn't just about that product or service. It's about the heart mission, that piece of you that's going through that. And I know that's where you are.
That's exactly well stated, Miss Linda Kaye. I have to tell you. And then you have to have your why behind it. Because
If you don't have a why,
hard times, your why, your family, your son, your parents, where you want to be in life, who you want to help. It has to be really strong, and you have to really write it down and have a purpose to go for, because that gives you your fuel, right? Then you just, and it's amazing. It's amazing how much you can give and how deep you can go, and it makes life exciting, happy, and joyful, no matter what situation you're in. And then you take a moment and you go, thank you. Thank you.
gratitude.
These moments, I don't know, almost every minute of every day when I can, you just thank God, you thank your universe for this beautiful day, this moment with Linda, this moment being healthy, sitting here, enjoying this conversation, enjoying these successes, looking at our best selves, and enjoying the hard times too that got you through it. Because if you don't have the hard times, one, they're there for a lesson. They're there for a reason to move you forward. And 2, then when you move forward, you appreciate it more.
You said 2 things that I want to go back and talk about for just a second. One of them is your big why. Now, do you think your big why can change?
It can change, but it's always part of you.
That's a great answer, because my big why, when I went through divorce and it was just my child and I, 5 years old, and I'm looking around and I'm broke, right? But the things that we think about, is like, how do I take care of this? How do I create the environment that keeps the safety and keeps the lights on, keeps the food on the table? Those things will make you get out of bed and drive yourself harder, because when we're just working for ourselves, do we work as hard for just ourselves?
I think Linda is my sister from another mother. We can probably put this to music. This is your life, my life. What was that book? This is your life. Here we
Right.
are.
I told you we have so many parallels, so many parallels. And then you also said something about the peaks and the valleys. When we get to the peak, and we've all had them, we've had, the back of the limousine moments in our lives, right? And then the valleys, they go, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. We trudge through it. What are the things, what are some of the things that you've used within yourself to say, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pull myself up by the bootstraps. That was just, I love this saying that, a setback is a setup for a comeback. Because if you remember who you are, what your mission is, that's not just enough. Those are the things that we remember. What is it within you, Cynthia, that gets you up and keeps you moving past those valleys and gets you back up?
The most important thing is your self-talk. The things that you say to yourself in the back of your brain.
I want you to talk about that one, because we all have some bad chatter.
You got to get rid of it or minimize it or chant something else, because that is the thing that sabotages you, slows you down, puts you in a bad space. I have some rituals that I have started, and I really wish I started a long, long time ago. So all of you are in a perfect place to jump off, because you can start at any age. And I have a mantra that I just learned recently from Glenn Morshower, who's a character actor. Look him up. He's got amazing work coming out. He's been on 24, The Resident, West Wing. Anyway, he is fantastic. And I am blessed to have been accepted into his acting class. So I'm doing that, and I'm learning so much. And the thing that he said was, I live my life in such a way that tomorrow I'm proud of my yesterdays. Let me say it again. I live today in such a way that tomorrow I'm proud of my yesterdays. I live today in such a way that tomorrow I'm proud of my yesterdays. So think about it. If you're living today, okay, so you're living today. So in this moment, what would be the best thing that I can do that I'll be proud of tomorrow? Right now, the best thing I can do is to give my all to Linda and this audience and tell them whatever message is supposed to come through me to give to you, that this is part of it. Then tomorrow, it's your tomorrow, so you can be proud of your yesterdays. This is the only time you have on earth right now. What are you waiting for? There's no someday. It's like right now. You have to do it right now. And we are so blessed, and we have so many ways that we can help each other. I do technology too. So when you're doing these kind of presentations, I went off the trail a little bit, but anyway, it ties back in. So here we are. We're doing the best thing. I'm working on living my best today so I can be proud of my tomorrows and my yesterdays. I am doing this to let other people know who I am, because they say if no one knows who you are, how can they help you and how can you help them? They have to know to come to me. And I'm reaching out to let everyone know that I'm here and available. And so is Linda. And I have coaches for like everything. And I know people from everything. And when you have that bad moment and you're talking your brain, you have to reach out to, like, I have a yoga instructor who's a person. I have Glenn Morshower and Ken Walls who are mentors. I have Wyatt Woodsmall. I have girlfriends. I have women that are helping me. You have little special niches, and you kind of put them in special little boxes, and you help them, they help you. You come up with ideas. I'll be reading an article or something, or see a podcast, and I'll say, I thought of you. Simple. I love you. Simple. You have to let people know that you're there for them and be there for them. I just love my life. I love every part of it. And I try to set myself up in a healthy way with, the basics: sleep, food, nourishment, meditation, reading good books, using my spare time wisely to further this purpose, working on my books and my speeches, and coming onto podcasts and getting to know beautiful women that I met. I met Linda Kaye in Florida.
Yes, you did.
Florida. And it was an amazing event. Ken Walls and Craig Juslet put it on. And we all are still friends, and we all are meeting at other meetings. and watching each other grow. I love watching Linda Kaye doing these podcasts now. She's like stepping out of her thing and look what she's offering. And she looks so beautiful. Another warrior woman. The warrior woman.
Pay you later, Cynthia. I'll pay you. Cynthia, speaking of books, how is your Black Pearl, a love letter to the ocean, doing?
Oh my goodness. I'm so blessed and excited and thanking the world for
Look at that #1. Oh my God. Best-selling author. Yay. Awesome.
writing a book. I really recommend it. It is so fun. It becomes like your business card. And when you are meeting new people or something and they go, well, what do you do? And you kind of go, oh, I wrote a book. It's like instant credibility.
You know, this is so funny that you say that. I first met Craig Duswalt, I'm going to say maybe 3-4 years ago in Los Angeles when he was headquartered here, and he was doing these marketing things. And one of the things that stood out to me was, you know, you can write a book in a night, and he's right. But, you know, writing a book in a night is a lot easier when you decide, well, I'm just going to write my favorite 100 quotes. Well, today you could go to ChatGPT and it will write your favorite quotes for you, right? But writing a book that has more of your soul in it, that takes a little longer. What was the process like for you?
Well, it might sound ridiculous, but I started in 2nd grade. I just got lost along the way.
We've all got a book in us that starts at birth, doesn't it?
Yes, and this one in my next book, which is coming out September 20th, Savannah Seas, is actually I started before this one, and I have so many people helping me, and I've learned so much, and it takes so much time, and attention to detail is important, not only in your book, but in your life. Making your bed when you get up in the morning, writing something in your book, writing something for your book, writing a note to someone just to let them know that you love them. Every little moment in that morning sets off your day. So then you can either schedule your time for your book, put it on your calendar. My book is launching September 20th, Savannah Seas. And Erica.
You're not just going to launch it. You're going to launch it in a really special way. How are you going to do that?
Oh, I'm doing it. I do my Wednesday podcast, The Cynthia Manion Show, 7 p.m. on September 20th.
And so you live stream that on all the social media platforms, you know, like
Absolutely.
Facebook, LinkedIn, and et cetera. Okay, good. And then Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so for those of you that miss it, make sure you check it out because it will still be posted and it won't be live for you. But you have a very narrow window to get people to respond. So do you launch it first as a downloadable so it's affordable for people to get that book real quick?
Well, what I did for Black Pearl is I'm doing a lot of things to promote reading. And we did a contest, and I'll probably do the same contest again. And so the book was available on what tablet? What do you call those things you download it? I forgot the name on it. Your ebook?
Your ebook.
99 cents. For 99 cents.
Yep, that's perfect.
And I think I gave out maybe 100 free ones. And the challenge was to do something, either read to somebody, go to a prison, read to children, read to older people, disabled people, just to do something to reach out, give your book away. And I had a winner from Florida, Jess Taker, who did an amazing thing. In fact, I'm going to have her back on for a follow-up. And just open up the waves, reach out to people and see what they have to do. And go to your local libraries, go to your local bookstores and say, hey, I'm here and I can read to you. And I even read to this old man by himself, and he just loved it. And I just loved the time with him. And he died, but he was 100 years old.
Wow. What a gift. What an absolute gift. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the love letter to the ocean. Why a love letter to the ocean? What is Black Pearl? I mean, besides, you know, when I think of Black Pearl, I think of pirates and Johnny Depp, and but this is a little bit different.
Yeah, it puts together real life, the challenges we have as women or as men too. The challenges go in business. So it follows a woman who is finding her seed, her pearl in her heart, breaking up her oyster to become her best self. And you do it through kindness. You do it with imagination. You do it with love. You do it with taking care of your people, taking care of yourself. And I love the ocean. I lived in the Seychelles Islands for 3 years.
Oh my
So
goodness. How marvelous.
in the middle of the Indian Ocean, 4 degrees south of the equator, above Madagascar, and 1,000 miles off the coast of East Africa. So in my brain, if I'm stressed, I go back there. Like I'm on the beaches and I'm running and swimming and snorkeling, and the mountains were beautiful, taking huge climbs and drinking water out of the running waterfalls, just folding a leaf. Like that's when I travel with nothing. You take a leaf and dip it and drink it and appreciate Mother Nature, appreciate the ocean and all the gifts she gives us, and stop dumping stuff in her.
Oh gosh, dumping is like I don't know if you've heard the latest news in the last 24 hours of Japan and Fukushima's meltdown back in 2011. Their nuclear reactor melted down when they had a tsunami and an earthquake. And they've got something like 1,000 barrels of nuclear reaction, radioactive material that they say is, it's ready to be reintroduced to the ocean. And I'm just like, and of course, the spontaneous reaction from China is, ban all of the seafood coming from Japan. And you hear about these things. And then I'm literally next to the Mexican border in San Diego. And after we had a huge storm, we had, once every century, we have a kind of storm like this where it's hurricane, it was reduced to tropical, but, a hurricane and an earthquake at the same time. So we had our own hurricane. And, but during that storm, the runoff and all of the 1 billion gallons of raw sewage was dropped into our ocean from my neighbor 1 mile south of me. And it took days. It took days. That's what I've been sick with, is that I didn't know that it had penetrated and permeated our own water system. And we're now being told, boil your water. So, we think about, we don't have to go very far to think about, how can we do things better as a corporation, as an individual? It isn't just about global warming. It's about what are we doing while we are warm, and what are we dumping into the ocean? I couldn't agree with you more. So that message is a really strong message that you've got in your book, but it's also a message to yourself.
Exactly. I have a favorite passage that I sometimes read when I do book readings. I'll just read you a piece, because you also have to take care of your inner self, right? Your inner soul. Both water and sand are part of the ocean, Boris said. Therefore, I want you to lie back and just be one with everything around you. Do not try to distance yourself or think. Just be aware of the great ocean and let go of everything else. Are you doing that in your own life? Because you have to go into the zone and then find your inner soul and then think. Every single thing matters. The ocean, every insect, every animal, every blade of grass. And if you don't treat it with the respect that it's due, it's not going to take care of us, our children, our ancestors. There will be no legacy. Right now is the time. Because both water and sand are part of the ocean. Both you and I are part of the earth. We all deserve to be here. We all must respect our environment. And I love you, ocean.
Now, there's a curmudgeon in all of us. And my curmudgeon just came up and said, respect the blade of grass and all of the creatures of the earth and insects. And I'm thinking, I don't respect flies. I just don't. I do not respect.
Yeah, but they do a service.
They do a service. They plant things that do an even bigger service, don't they?
It's just as easy to take your little insect and put them outside and let them go as to squash them. One, you're saving him, and he's going to go, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't think he tells his brothers and sisters you were kind and didn't kill him. Leave that house alone. I do believe this.
He's got at least one of his 100 eyes on you.
Yeah. I mean,
That's funny.
what made us the master of all creatures?
Well, we think that because we're human, we can master over and lord over pretty much everything. So, yeah, I think it comes from a deep level of respect, and how we're taught. If you're not taught this, where do you find it? How do you find this out?
You read, you study, you talk to other people, you study other cultures, you travel, see how other people do things, and incorporate the best of what you see into yourself.
So, speaking of the best of, you did mention Glenn Morshower, and I know that I see him from time to time on some of the same things that we run in the same circles on. You're taking acting classes with him.
Yes.
So tell me, why do you need an act? I know you're not looking to be on stage, but isn't the whole world a stage?
The whole world is a stage, and so I might as well be better at it and communicate my message better. And actually, I'm also thinking of it as another revenue stream, talking money, because I do a lot of things, and some of it I might as well get paid for. When I was in my 20s, I was with William Morris and Ford Today's Woman and worked quite extensively. And I thought, so, 20, 30, 40 years have gone by, but why not? Let's go see what I can do out there, because I have a message and I know that there is another purpose for me on this earth. So I'm experimenting. So I do this, I do that, and I do that. And it all makes me better and makes me learn how to use technology better, because he is in Texas and I'm currently in Annapolis, Maryland. We have students in Paris, in Slovakia. And it's amazing how he puts them together in class, and you do a scene and you would think we were sitting side by side.
Really?
Technology is amazing. You do auditions on tape and you send on video and you send them in. So you have to know your technology, you have to know your lighting, you have to know your voice, you have to have good backup, you have to have a good background behind you. I have seen some very strange things during some of those meetings with you, Linda. You have seen things that we should not see.
Right.
I won't even tell you this story about one of them.
Where the kids start crawling behind you, or the animals come walking in, or
well, some of that's adorable. That's adorable, because you still have to be free, right?
Right.
You have your fire inside you. This is another Glennism. Fire. Okay. That's all you need in life. Free. F is for free. I is for interesting. You have to have a life so that you're interesting. So we have something to talk about. We have had such interesting lives, and we're not even at the first little snowflake on the top of that mountain. You have to be real, because we are tired of fake stuff. We don't want it. We want a true person with their real heart, what they really think and feel, for better or for worse. You will keep them in your circle or move them out or put them in another circle, or you won't be involved with them. It depends on being real and how you align. Enough. Free. Fire. F-I-R-E. And fire. Enough. I'm already enough. I was created perfectly.
We struggle, I think, in our lives, Cynthia, thinking I'm not enough. There's something wrong with me, or, I did a presentation and it didn't land, so it must be me. The notion of being enough is not new, but it's a hard thing for you to feel that when other things happen to generate that self-talk that goes, wow, what a loser. You shouldn't have been up there to begin with, right?
Wow.
Because we do that. Are we our kindest to ourselves? No, we're our meanest. And that horrible, I call her cave woman. She comes out every once in a while. She sits up on the shoulder. You're not going to wear that. If you were looking to impress, and the other side's like, well, I think it looks pretty good. It's really my colors. What's wrong with it? So you battle that chatter. Do you have some tips for us that would tell us how to calm that inner caveman or woman in us down, and accept that who we are is enough?
Well, who you are is enough. You are made perfectly. Think of all the little sperms that you beat. I don't know the number, 500,000 of them to get to be born. You already won. You already won.
Right?
All the bad things that happen to you, you are here. That is
you already won your first race.
And it was the biggest race of your life. You wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be having this discussion. So we are all here, and you're already a winner. So we were talking earlier when I said that line, I live today in such a way that tomorrow I'm proud of my yesterdays. The most important thing is that PMA, Napoleon Hill stuff, personal mental attitude. Calm it down. Have a mantra. Post your goals. I don't want to say goals, but things you want to do. I wrote this a long time ago. I think it was a Bob Proctor class or a Ken Wall's class, and he said write it down 100 times. Or someone that was speaking. Were you in that class?
I think I was. I can't remember the exercise though. Tell me.
I stayed up to 2 a.m.
You wrote it 100
and
times?
I wrote it down 100 times for real. I sat right here in this chair. And at the end, I wrote number 100. I have written a series of books and movies that are on every bestsellers list worldwide. Billions and billions of my books are being sold. I now release the gold mine within me, and I'm linked with the endless golden stream of prosperity, which comes to me under grace in perfect ways. That's Florence Shin. I am traveling the world to promote my books, literacy, and saving my precious oceans, and spending time with my family and friends. And then underneath it, I wrote, what if I write my book? What if I'm on every bestsellers list? What if I sell billions of books? What if I get to act in one of my movies? What if I get to act in someone else's movies? What if I got to be in a commercial? So when I get to that bad place, just like now, I went, oh, I remember when I was just in my bad place. Actually, it was about 2 weeks ago. It was really bad. I went, okay, what am I going to do today? And I actually, it was really bad. I actually went in my bathroom, laid on the floor, which I don't believe I've done since my 20s, curled up in a ball and cried for about, I don't know, maybe let's say 3 or 4 minutes. And then I went, I started singing that song, what good is sitting alone in your room? Come to the cabaret. I'm like, okay, so I'm not gonna get anything done sitting in this bathroom floor. So let's get up. Okay, good. Okay, what are 3 things that you can do? Every morning I go 3 things. Have you done those 3 things yet? No. Okay, let's start there. Then I went and pulled out my little book and I went, I've written, and then I set the date for the book launch. Even though I'm not quite there yet, set the date. Okay, good. So now I am focusing my energy to that. I signed up for a course I'm taking on the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So I have homework. So I have to do that. And then I have other projects that I'm doing in my business at Omni and my best customers. And I just a lot of the time, and I organize from now until September 20th, bump. I'm like, okie dokie, I'm ready to roll. And I don't even have time for that negative talk. That positive mental attitude, that plan, that, wow, like I've been jumping up in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning going, no, you need another hour of sleep. Come on. You got to go back to sleep. Okay. So then I do a meditation there. And I'm using the Peloton meditation thing on my little Peloton app.
Okay.
And I've been having fun with that too. So, there is, for whatever kind of person you are, there's something out there that you can use, that you can help. And I was going to show you this, but I'm not sure if it'll come up. But what was fun today is I went on my 350th walk.
Nice.
But they have this, you can keep
You have a
track.
73-week streak going. Woohoo!
Yeah.
73 weeks, that's over a year.
And
Year and a half.
yes. So I started that to keep myself going, to be in shape and be healthy. And it works. And holding yourself accountable and writing it down works.
Now, wait a minute. I think, and I'm going to share with the audience a picture. And let's see if I can do this real quick.
Ah.
Send me back and take that off. Tell us about staying in shape and being healthy, young lady. That is a fantastic picture.
Last Sunday, I was on a catamaran cruise for yoga, and we took a catamaran out. We went 2 hours out over by our lighthouse, the St. Thomas Lighthouse, and we did our yoga class on the catamaran. And then we were just sitting around talking.
Doing my down dog and falling over.
Yeah, it's really. I thought about that too. It was my first time doing it on a moving, and it
on
was
a moving platform. Yeah, that's kind of scary.
It was so exciting. It was so fun just stepping out of your boundary. And I hadn't done anything this summer except for work. And this came up and I was like, okay.
Oh
And
my
there were
God.
some people I knew there, like the yoga teacher, Lindsay Cook. She's amazing. And a few people that I knew from classes and other people that I didn't know. And this woman that I didn't know took this picture. And I went, wow, it's working. I'm better now than I was quite a while ago because I actually got up to, I never say 300 pounds, but I was right there. I might have been over it, but I always tell myself 299 and I'm never going there again.
Oh my goodness. There's no way you were 299.
Yeah, no, you'd be surprised. Yeah.
Life just sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I had a really bad skiing accident in Colorado at the bottom of Bear Tree in Vail. And I didn't walk for 3 years. So you gain weight, a lot of weight, you feel sorry for yourself, you eat. And in that situation, I entered a beauty pageant because I couldn't even walk at the time I entered that.
Wait a minute. You're somewhere between 250 and 300, and you think, well, let's just motivate myself and let's enter a beauty contest. What? This is crazy.
It was crazy. And it worked. The first time I got second, and then I did it again and got first. And then I was, during COVID, I, of course, was up there again, and I was getting, I don't know where I got to, like 172, 173. I'm like, uh-oh, it's happening again. I see the numbers going up, 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 up. And I wasn't equipped here to not go to the gym. So I started with water bottles. And I suggested to Karen at Annapolis Athletic Club to do her thing on Zoom virtually. She's like, I can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you can. And we got together. We started off maybe, I think she said she needed 7 people, and that grew and that grew. And finally, I'm like, you could not find a 5 or 10 pound weight in the state of Maryland. You couldn't find it on Amazon. They were like all sold out. So lots of women were doing this. Lots of men were doing it. It was a perfect time. So you have some people that grabbed it to get better and some people that didn't. So we have to reach the people that didn't so they can be happier and healthier, because we need the whole world to be happy and healthier
100%.
to be on the same wavelength to help all of the universe, because we can't have no good man left behind. How does that go?
Yes, I think that's the Marines. No good man left behind. So
Yeah. So then I entered a bodybuilding contest.
this
It's so much. I'm doing it just once a year now. It's a lot of work, but once a year, just to keep myself honest.
those are the pictures that we saw. I thought you said that the picture that I had sent you was one of your friends, a good friend, an actress or model. And but we were looking on all kinds of platforms for pictures of you from the past. And I said, no, I think I don't think that's her. I think that's really somebody else. And so we didn't end up putting it up here, which I'm now greatly disappointed that we didn't do. But I'm just going to let my VAs know they did a great job finding you. Were you the first Miss Georgetown, or is that your friend?
Oh no, that was me.
That was you.
That was
Okay.
me. But there's even a better picture that you sent me in the lineup, the bodybuilding lineup that's more current.
Okay, so hang on a
They're both
second.
good. They're both good.
Karen, if you can hear me, would you please send that over to Ron? Ron, put that up on the screen, because that is something that I think would be really fun for everybody to see.
So Ron, if you can put the one up with the lineup of the girls, I think we're holding the roses because Frank Minks does an amazing job on his OCB bodybuilding contest, which is in May. I haven't signed up for it. I think it's like May 14th, 2024.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so good. This is so good. Let's see. Also, I saw something here, acting, something about the Avenger. Is that you?
Oh, yeah. That's me too.
Oh my, okay. Can you just I'm going to give you just, a brag moment. All right. Tell me what movies you've been in.
I don't even know, because back in the day, I was just trying to make some money. I didn't even realize it was cool.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
I had some wonderful times. I was on TV. I actually found, if you remember this character, I was on his
oh
show.
My God. Is that Bill
Cosby?
Bill Cosby. Oh my goodness.
And my favorite movie that I worked on, my first one with the Screen Actors Guild, it was a Blowout with John Travolta and Nancy Allen.
Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh, and he's got eyes for you. Look at that.
Actually, that was a very tough time in both of our lives. He had just lost his girlfriend, who was an
Aw.
older woman and was mourning her. And I had just lost my mother, and was raising my 3 brothers and sisters. And yeah. And then we were in the Legionnaire's disease hotel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for a few weeks.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to share this with the audience. The audience needs to see this.
Oh, I don't like that one. But yes, see, we were even meeting. This is still COVID, and this was a class how to pose. You know, there's a trick to everything. You need a coach for everything. And so that's Frank's Fitness. And he has a beautiful wife, Erin Meekins, who also does makeup. And she's also here teaching, and some other people were teaching. And this gentleman in the black t-shirt was teaching. And, you know, you have to present yourself on stage.
Well,
And
you
in life.
really have no problem presenting yourself on stage. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, that was a movie. I was heavy before that too. And I said, I'm going to lose 20 pounds or 25 pounds or 30. I'm not even sure what it was to get down.
Oh my
They
goodness.
said, the costume creator, that wasn't Edith Head. That was a different thing. That was for the Smithsonian. Anyways.
Boom. What a babe picture.
They said,
how about this one?
Yes, this was the very first bodybuilding contest that I did. And
Now, I just want to know, were you out mud wrestling?
no, they do spray tans. Yeah, you got to learn all this stuff to get ready. So we were spray tan the day before, and then you walk around like a zombie trying not to mess it up. And then they like fix you, like they kind of take a roller paint and kind of roll it before you go on stage.
Oh my
It
goodness.
is messy. You do not want to touch anything.
Oh,
or
yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So I did it for 3 years. I think the first year I got 5th or 6th or something. And
That's
I entered
amazing.
like every category I could. And then I just won my first. I think I actually have my little trophies right up there.
Oh, how about that?
So now I have 2 firsts, a 3rd, and a 5th.
So what's next for you, Cynthia?
I'm going to do it again in May 2024.
That's amazing to me. I don't know how you have gone from, you know, the fluctuations and had the willpower to do that and the mindset to do that. And those are all really special talents that you have to pull from within to get that kind of result.
Well, as we were talking about our highs and lows and our dips in life going up and down, if you keep working on them, you can make them not so deep and not so up. So I don't go up to the 300s anymore. The highest I've gotten now since this was like 155, right? So in there, it's still manageable, right? So you make as you are more disciplined and focus on it, it keeps you honest in the food category, right?
Right.
Abs are made in the kitchen, right? So because in my brain, I know in May, I'm going to be in a bikini when I'm sitting out and it's a wonderful time and everyone's having drinks and key lime pie. Yes, I will have a small bite, but I will not eat the whole pie. You know, I will have a drink if I have one or not. I will have water with a lime in it. Or, you know, you just, in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm doing that in May. I don't need extra
That's
work.
right. How will this slice of key lime look on me?
That's right. Yeah. And I've discovered it's not that cute. It's fun in the moment, but it lasts a really long time.
That's funny. Cynthia, we're just about out of time. Is there something that you want to leave our audience with, a thought or a personal message?
Be grateful. Say thank you. Give a smile. You know, smiles are free and they can brighten up someone's life. Hold the door open for someone, even if they're a little far away. You'll be so surprised when they come up and they go, they'll start rushing, go, thank you, right? Leave a little earlier so you can find your parking space and be kind. Be kind to everyone. The people that checking you out if you go to a store, the restaurants, the waiters, the waitresses, they all have lives. They all have problems. They all matter. And I am so grateful for everyone that comes into my life. And I'm so grateful to you, Linda. This was wonderful. I had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Cynthia. And as I said before, please, if you liked what you saw and you liked what you heard, like and share it, send it out. I really want to thank you again today for joining my special guest, Cynthia Manion, and I. And join us next week for another episode of Money Talk. you like to talk about money? If you do and you'd like to be a guest, contact me at lindakay360.com.